They manipulated you into believing you needed them while they were using you like a tool. The first time you realized something was wrong, it wasn't because they shouted at you, it wasn't because they insulted you, it was because you finally stopped saying, "Yes, sir," "Yes, ma." That single word, "no," changed everything. Hey there, if this is your first time of coming across my channel, please subscribe, click on the notification button, like and share, because there's another big story that is coming your way tomorrow. The picture stopped, the phone stopped ringing, the warm smile disappeared. The people who once claimed they couldn't survive without you suddenly acted as if you had become their biggest enemy. That was when the truth hit you. They never loved the person you were, they loved what you could do for them. Every morning you woke up trying to solve their problems before thinking about your own. You paid bills that were not yours. You apologized for mistakes you didn't make. You carried emotional burdens that belonged to another people. Whenever they needed help, you were always there. Whenever they needed someone, you were always there with an excuse. At first, you thought that was what love looked like. You believed sacrifice would make them appreciate you. Instead, every sacrifice only made them ask for more. Little by little, they convinced you that without them, your life would fall apart. They made you question every decision. They criticized your dreams until you stopped chasing them. They made you feel guilty whenever you wanted time for yourself. Without realizing it, you had stopped living your own life and started living another person's life, and started living their own life. You were living the life they designed for you. One evening, after another exhausting day of trying to make everyone happy, you looked at yourself in the mirror and asked a question you had avoided for years. When was the last time someone asked, "How was I doing?" You couldn't remember. The silence gave you your answer, the answer you needed. You had become useful but invisible. Everything changed when life forced you to step ahead. A family emergency kept you away from everyone for several weeks. During that time, something unexpected happened. The people who always claimed they needed you found someone else, not because they could not live without you, but because they had never needed you. They only needed someone willing to carry their responsibility. The painful discovery break your heart, but it also set you free. You stop explaining yourself. You stop apologizing for things you never did. You stop chasing people who only remembered your name when they wanted something. The funny thing was that the more you focused on building your own life, the more they started calling. Suddenly, they missed you. Suddenly, they remembered your kindness. Suddenly, they wanted to fix the relationship, but this time you could finally see the pattern. It wasn't love calling you back. It wasn't love calling you back at all. They missed having someone they could control. They missed having someone who could always say yes. They missed the version of you that never put yourself first. And that version no longer existed. If you are enjoying real stories that reveal the truth people try to hide, subscribe, because there is another story waiting for you tomorrow. You won't like to miss it. One day, someone close to them admitted something they never expected to hear. "We thought you would never leave because we made you believe you couldn't survive without us." Those words confirmed everything. The person had never been locked, the door had always been open. Fear was the only chain holding you inside. From that day forward, you started making decisions without asking for permission. You learned that peace feels strange at first when you haven't spent years living in chaos. You discovered that healthy relationships don't make you feel guilty for growing. The people who truly love you celebrated your progress. They didn't fear it. The people who truly care about you don't keep scars every time they help you. They don't remind you of everything they have done for you just to control your next decision. The most important and most importantly, you learned that anyone who has to convince you that you are nothing without them is usually afraid of discovering that they are nothing without your constant sacrifice. The greatest revenge wasn't proving them wrong. It was building a life where approval was no longer necessary. And one day, when they looked back expecting to see the same person they once controlled, they found someone they no longer recognized. Not because you had changed into someone else, but because for the first time in a long time, you had finally become yourself. You had finally found yourself. You had finally found a purpose, not sacrificing for others, not sacrificing your life or living your life or living another person's life just to make them happy. Being happy is a choice and not an obligation.